what Filipinos need to know about their labor rights.
And just up a little later, Colin Clegg has another tasty treat all the way from Cuba.
Yes, it is Studio One.
Live from the heart of Dubai.
Won't you tell me the thoughts that surround you? I want to look inside your head, yes I do.
Welcome back to Studio One. We are still on our snooze sofas. Just about a few more minutes to go, John. Now, when it comes to our working lives, how many of us know when our rights have been breached, or even what to do about it when it happens?
One man who's doing his bit to raise awareness of workers' rights within the Filipino community is Barney Almazar. He's from Gulf Law. He's sat over there at the moment. Good to have you with us, Barney.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You're a man who is doing a huge amount for the Filipino community through seminars, through legal advice and more. Before we move on to the specifics of the Filipino community, as a man of the law as well, interested to know, is it a common misconception for many people in this part of the world to not understand their employment rights when going into a job?
Yes, that's correct, because most of the cases that we handle are due to misinformation, or they're being misguided, or they do not understand the laws completely.
Really? Okay.
I mean, unaware that their rights have been breached and accepting jobs that have really poor sort of terms and conditions is one issue. But what are some of the other big issues that the Filipino working community in the UAE face?
Okay. We have about 600,000 Filipinos working here in the UAE, and majority of them are in hospitality industry, or some are in the household industry, or working in the household. But
if they work in the Marriott Hyatt, then they get in bunches of flowers and cards.
Yeah.
But
the major misconception is that people in the household service think that they are covered by the UAE labor laws. But they are not, because they are covered by the immigration rules, because their sponsors are not companies, but the household, but the head of the household. So it is the immigration rules that will be applicable for them.
one of those immigration rules will center around a passport, which is a legal document which we all individually own. There seems to be an understanding as well in various parts of the world that people can hold on to your passport. Is that right?
Well, as a general rule, the passports are property of the government who issued it. But in certain job positions, the company may hold the passport, but it's more of the exception to the rule.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just reading your profile about some of the problems that you tackle, and this one particularly caught my attention. A woman is entitled to the same wage as that of a man. Is that still even an issue? I mean, are men and women not paid the same wage for doing the same work?
Well, the law is very clear: equal pay for equal work. But there are some companies who would be thinking that they get more out of a male employee, but it should not be the case.
Another issue that will crop up time and time again is leave, and also maternity leave as well. Is it your advice to your clients and to others of the Filipino community to be well aware of what you are signing when you are signing that employment contract?
Yes, because another mistake is that they sign a contract which they don't understand, especially if it is just written in Arabic. They can always request their employers to have an English translation of the contract that they are signing. And we were talking about maternity leave. They should understand that maternity leave is separate from the annual leave.
Okay.
Because some companies would say that once you have consumed your maternity leave, then you are not entitled to your annual leave.
You know, when you just request that, you said you are legally entitled to request a translation into English. Can you also request a translation into your mother tongue as well, or not?
Yes, because the law requires that the contract should be in Arabic, but it doesn't have to be in English. If you are, let's say, French, then you can probably request your company that to have it in French, but most of the people going here are fluent in English.
Okay.
What about end of gratuity services? Because a lot of the times employers might give a very low basic salary and add it up with housing and transportation allowances. Do people know that this will affect their end of service gratuity if the basic salary is less?
Well, unfortunately, not everyone would know that. That's why during the seminar, we will teach them how to negotiate for a better employment benefits. Like, for example, as we have mentioned, the basis for your end of service gratuity, not even just that, but even for overtime pay, will be your basic salary. So if you are getting so much on allowances, then those will not be considered when you compute for your final pay.
So what about this, Barney? If people have signed a contract, they're in a job at the moment, they feel they're not being dealt with fairly at the moment. What's their next step? Their next step, of course, is it to come to you directly, or should there be someone in the company that they consult with first?
Okay. We always advise them to first make an amicable settlement, or resolve the dispute on their company level first. So if they can go to their HR manager and discuss the issue. If still they were not able to resolve that, they can consult a lawyer, or they can also go to the Ministry of Labor for advice on how to proceed further.
Now with Gulf Law, you do a series of seminars to educate Filipinos about their rights and how to not get into trouble with the law. And you also cover several other subjects. What are those?
Yes, we cover mostly the common legal issues being encountered, not only Filipinos, but an expatriate here in the UAE. So before we discussed credit cards and bank loans, because a lot of people are having troubles regarding debt issues. The next seminar that we had is on employment laws. We have about 400 participants in that seminar alone. And next month, we will be, this month, we will be discussing marriage and family law. So those are planning to get married, or if you have marital problems, if you are having a baby, how to register the birth certificate, or how to acquire a passport for your newborn. We will be discussing those issues.
One issue, again, that crops up time and time again, and I'm sure something that will crop up in your seminars, is bans, specifically employment bans as well. Is that still something that people need to be aware of?
Definitely. They should first know how to avoid those work ban or labor ban, because if these are given if you break your contract or you do not follow the labor law. So your employer can request to have a ban imposed against you. But this can be appealed, or this can be lifted. It depends on where you are transferring. Like those who would be transferring to a better job with a better pay, this labor ban can be lifted in certain cases.
So Gulf Law is the company you need to get in touch with for any kind of legal aid, and it's a great way to empower Filipinos as well. So if you'd like to get in touch with Barney and the company, log on to our Facebook fan page where you can find all the links, facebook.com/Studio One Live. Thank you so much for joining us, Barney.
Pleasure to be here.
And to all of our Filipino viewers, go Manny Pacquiao. He won this weekend. He's back. What's coming next? I'm lost. Craig, crab, done.
After this.
Nice.
Any specified ano yung kalimutan din?
Ako ma'am, detalye ka